Well, I think my Scottish accent is better than hers. I do, but I know what she was trying for.
Miriam Margolyes is never one to hold back. At 84, the beloved actress known for her sharp wit, fearless honesty, and unforgettable roles has finally spoken out about something that fans have long wondered, the co-stars she truly disliked. Behind the glittering premieres, award shows, and iconic film sets, Miriam has witnessed the highs and lows of Hollywood firsthand, and she isn't afraid to share the truth. Throughout her decades-long career, Miriam has built a reputation for being bold, unapologetic, and hilariously candid. She's loved by millions for her performances, her humor, and her unfiltered observations. But fame, she says, isn't all champagne and red carpets. Behind the camera, actors often clash, egos collide, and personalities can grate against each other in ways the public rarely sees. Miriam has seen it all, and now she's naming names. Fans of her work, from Harry Potter to countless British films and theatre productions, know her as vivacious and full of life. But even Miriam admits that not every collaboration was a dream. On some sets, she faced challenges that tested her patience, her professionalism, and occasionally her sense of humor. And while she has always maintained her dignity, her sharp memory and honesty mean she hasn't forgotten a single difficult co-star encounter. Now, Miriam Margolyes is finally pulling back the curtain. She shares the behind-the-scenes stories, the clashing personalities, and the moments that made her regret certain collaborations, all told in her trademark, candid, witty, and sometimes brutal style. For fans who love Hollywood gossip and insider drama, this is a revelation you won't want to miss. Her stories promise laughter, shock, and even a little heartbreak. The true testament to a career spent navigating the glitz, glam, and occasional chaos of the film industry. Miriam Margolyes has never been one to mince words. Known for her commanding presence on stage and screen, as well as her razor-sharp wit off-camera, she has spent decades navigating the unpredictable world of show business. By the time she reached 84, Miriam had amassed a career filled with unforgettable performances. From her iconic role as Professor Sprout in the Harry Potter series, to countless theatre and film appearances that showcased her versatility and fearlessness. Yet beneath the acclaim and applause, Miriam has also encountered challenges that most fans would never imagine, including co-stars she found difficult, irritating, or downright impossible to work with. From the very beginning of her career, Miriam learned that talent alone doesn't guarantee harmony on set. Actors, much like any group of people, bring their own personalities, insecurities, and egos to the table. Miriam, with her forthright nature, often found herself clashing with those who tried to dominate or manipulate situations. While she respected craft and dedication, she refused to tolerate arrogance, pettiness, or cruelty, which sometimes put her at odds with others in the industry. She recalls early film and theater projects where egos ran high and cooperation was scarce. For Miriam, the work was always about the performance, the story, and the art, not about coddling fragile stars or participating in Hollywood politics. Her blunt honesty sometimes ruffled feathers, but it also earned her respect from those who valued sincerity and dedication. Over the years, this fearless approach became her signature. Fans admired her, not just for her talent, but for her unwavering authenticity. Miriam's experiences with difficult co-stars weren't just anecdotal. They shaped her approach to work and life. She learned to recognize red flags early, set boundaries, and remain true to herself despite pressures to conform. She has spoken openly about how these experiences, though challenging, strengthened her resilience and sharpened her instincts in an industry that can be as cutthroat as it is glamorous. By reflecting on her most trying collaborations, Miriam offers a candid glimpse into the realities of Hollywood, the clashes, the power struggles, and the personalities that make working in film and theater both thrilling and exhausting. Her stories remind us that even legendary performers like herself encounter friction, and that navigating it requires courage, wit, and a strong sense of self. And while Miriam has named names in her recollections, the co-stars she couldn't stand, she does so with a sense of honesty tempered by decades of experience. She doesn't shy away from the truth, nor does she seek to sensationalize. Instead, she shares lessons learned and memories etched into a career that spans generations. For fans, her revelations are both shocking and enlightening. Miriam Margolyes, at 84, stands as a testament to fearlessness, authenticity, and the unfiltered voice of someone who has lived, performed, and endured the highs and lows of Hollywood with unwavering integrity. Throughout her decades-long career, Miriam Margolyes encountered actors whose personalities clashed with her own. While many co-stars were supportive, professional, and even inspiring, others tested her patience to the limit. Miriam has never hesitated to call out difficult behavior, and at 84, she's candidly reflecting on those who made her work life challenging, sometimes unbearable. On some sets, Miriam faced actors whose egos seemed bigger than the productions themselves. They demanded attention, refused to take direction, and often treated the crew or fellow cast members as obstacles rather than collaborators. Miriam, known for her fierce honesty and no-nonsense approach, was not the type to let arrogance slide. She recalls scenes where a co-star would monopolize every moment, attempting to overshadow her presence or control the narrative of a scene. To her, this wasn't just frustrating, it was unprofessional. One of the biggest lessons Miriam learned was that talent does not always equate to humility. She admired actors who were gifted but grounded, and she held them in high regard. But those who relied on intimidation, manipulation, or entitlement quickly found themselves on the receiving end of her sharp tongue. Miriam has shared that she refused to participate in power struggles, preferring to remain authentic and focused on her craft. Her approach often left some co-stars irritated, but it also earned her respect from those who valued integrity and professionalism. Miriam also noticed patterns in behavior that caused tension on set. Some actors, for instance, would take credit for group efforts or belittle others to elevate themselves. Others would sulk, complain, or create drama over trivial matters, turning collaboration into conflict. Miriam's candid and assertive nature meant she didn't shy away from addressing these issues directly, whether through witty remarks, pointed comments, or, when necessary, walking away from situations that compromised her peace of mind. Yet, despite the friction, Miriam maintains that these experiences were instructive. Each difficult encounter taught her how to navigate Hollywood's complex dynamics, develop resilience, and recognize her own boundaries. She learned to choose projects and colleagues carefully, ensuring that her time on set would be productive and fulfilling rather than draining. She also cultivated a sense of humor about the absurdities of working with demanding personalities, often using wit to diffuse tense situations or highlight the ridiculousness of certain conflicts. Miriam Margolyes' reflections on her most challenging co-stars reveal not just the behind-the-scenes tension of Hollywood productions, but also her remarkable courage and self-respect. She demonstrates that it is possible to maintain professionalism, protect one's dignity, and still deliver unforgettable performances even in difficult circumstances. Her candidness gives fans an unfiltered look at the realities of acting alongside personalities that could be as tricky as they were talented. Through it all, Miriam's resilience and wit became her greatest tools. She emerged from every challenging encounter stronger, more discerning, and ever committed to staying true to herself. And as she names the co-stars who tested her patience the most, it's clear that her honesty is not born of bitterness, but of decades of experience, self-awareness, and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. In Hollywood, talent and ego often collide, and Miriam Margolyes has witnessed her fair share of behind-the-scenes drama. While she has worked with some of the most brilliant actors of her generation, she has also encountered personalities that clashed with her own, creating tension on set that could be both exhausting and instructive. At 84, Miriam speaks openly about these experiences, revealing that even in the glittering world of film and theater, conflict is never far from the spotlight. Miriam recalls projects where creative differences quickly escalated into personal battles. Some co-stars would insist on dominating scenes, improvising lines without consulting others, or attempting to redirect the story to highlight their own performance. Miriam, never one to be overshadowed, found these situations particularly challenging. She often had to assert herself with a combination of humor, sharp wit, and unwavering confidence to maintain balance on set. Her colleagues quickly learned that while Miriam could laugh at absurdities, she would not tolerate disrespect or manipulation. Beyond individual clashes, some conflicts arose from differing approaches to acting. Miriam, trained in classical theatre and highly disciplined, often encountered co-stars who relied solely on instinct or improvisation. While spontaneity can enhance a performance, she observed that unbridled behavior sometimes disrupted scenes and frustrated other actors. Miriam navigated these moments with patience and professionalism, balancing her need to preserve the integrity of the production with her natural tendency to speak her mind. One recurring source of tension, she admits, was when certain actors treated the set as a platform for ego rather than collaboration. Complaints about costumes, props, or minor details could turn into protracted disputes. Miriam, however, refused to participate in these petty dramas. Her approach was simple: focus on the work, respect the craft, and call out behavior that crossed the line. This fearless honesty often earned her the admiration of directors and crew, even when it annoyed her more self-centered co-stars. Miriam also witnessed situations where conflicts became public, either through gossip columns or behind-the-scenes leaks. While some actors thrived on publicity and controversy, Miriam preferred to let her work speak for itself. She notes that navigating the fine line between confrontation and professionalism is a skill she developed over decades, one that allowed her to survive, thrive, and maintain her integrity in a notoriously challenging industry. Through these experiences, Miriam Margolyes learned valuable lessons about resilience, boundaries, and self-respect. She emphasizes that talent alone is not enough. Collaboration, humility, and respect for fellow actors are equally crucial. Her candid recollections reveal that even the most successful actors face interpersonal challenges, and surviving them requires both courage and wisdom. For fans, these behind-the-scenes stories offer a rare glimpse into the realities of life on set, where personalities, creativity, and egos constantly intersect. Miriam's reflections are not just entertaining gossip. They are insights from an actress who has navigated decades of industry dynamics with grace, intelligence, and fearless honesty. Her ability to name the co-stars she found most challenging is a testament to her integrity and the lessons she has learned about standing firm, speaking up, and maintaining authenticity no matter the circumstance. Miriam Margolyes' career has been filled with brilliant collaborations, but it hasn't been without its fair share of challenges. Over the decades, she's worked alongside some of the biggest names in film and theatre, and while many partnerships were inspiring, a few proved to be testing in ways that left a lasting impression. At 84, Miriam reflects candidly on the co-stars who pushed her patience, revealing the lessons she gained from these difficult collaborations. Some of the most trying experiences, Miriam recalls, came from actors who allowed their egos to dominate the set. These individuals often sought the spotlight at the expense of others, disregarding professionalism and sometimes even basic courtesy. For Miriam, who values honesty, respect, and dedication, such behavior was unacceptable. She quickly learned to navigate these dynamics with a mix of assertiveness and wit, standing her ground while maintaining her focus on the work at hand. One of the key lessons Miriam emphasizes is the importance of boundaries. In some productions, co-stars would test limits, create unnecessary drama, or attempt to manipulate situations for personal gain. Miriam didn't shy away from confrontation when necessary. She found that setting clear boundaries and refusing to be drawn into petty conflicts not only protected her own well-being, but also ensured that she could continue delivering her best performance. Her courage in doing so often earned the admiration of directors and crew members, even if it ruffled the feathers of difficult co-stars. Another challenge came from creative clashes. Some actors approached scenes with rigid interpretations, while others relied heavily on improvisation. Miriam, with her disciplined theatre background, learned to adapt, balancing respect for her co-stars' methods with her own commitment to the integrity of the performance. These experiences taught her patience, flexibility, and the value of collaboration, even in the face of frustration. Miriam also discovered that humor could be a powerful tool in diffusing tension. She often used her quick wit to diffuse conflicts, making pointed but humorous remarks that reminded everyone on set of the bigger picture, the work itself. By approaching challenges with levity, she managed to maintain both her sanity and her professionalism, demonstrating that even the most difficult collaborations can be navigated with intelligence and grace. Ultimately, Miriam's encounters with challenging co-stars reinforced a fundamental truth. Talent alone does not guarantee harmony. What matters equally is respect, humility, and the ability to work as part of a team. By sharing her stories, Miriam Margolyes offers a rare behind-the-scenes perspective on the realities of Hollywood, proving that even legendary actors face interpersonal challenges, and that navigating them successfully requires courage, integrity, and a healthy dose of humor. Through these experiences, Miriam has emerged stronger, wiser, and more self-assured. Her candid reflections remind us that in any collaborative environment, difficult personalities are inevitable. But how one responds to them can define both professional success and personal growth. At 84, Miriam continues to embody resilience, honesty, and the fierce authenticity that has defined her remarkable career. At 84, Miriam Margolyes reflects on her decades-long career with a clarity and humor that only time can bring. Her candidness about the co-stars she found difficult is just one facet of a life spent navigating the highs and lows of Hollywood, British theatre, and international film. For Miriam, the challenges, conflicts, and clashes she encountered along the way are inseparable from the achievements, triumphs, and memories she treasures most. Miriam has always been fearless in her approach to acting and life. She speaks openly about the co-stars who tested her patience, not out of bitterness, but from a place of honesty and reflection. These experiences, she explains, were formative. They taught her the importance of resilience, self-respect, and assertiveness, qualities that allowed her to thrive even in the most challenging environments. For Miriam, standing up to difficult personalities wasn't about confrontation for its own sake. It was about protecting her integrity, maintaining professionalism, and ensuring her work never suffered. Beyond personal conflicts, Miriam acknowledges that her career has been shaped by collaboration, creativity, and moments of genuine joy. She fondly recalls actors and directors who inspired her, encouraged her, and shared in the craft of storytelling. It's these positive experiences that balanced the difficult ones, creating a full picture of a career defined not just by performances, but by lessons learned along the way. Miriam's reflections also highlight the human side of acting. Behind the glamour, award shows, and red carpets lies a world where personalities, egos, and emotions intersect constantly. Navigating this requires more than talent. It demands empathy, patience, and sometimes a sharp sense of humor. Miriam's stories of challenging co-stars demonstrate her ability to balance honesty with grace and criticism with reflection, a skill she has honed over decades. Looking back, Miriam Margolyes sees both the trials and triumphs as integral to her legacy. She takes pride not only in the roles she has played, but in the courage she exhibited on and off the set. Her willingness to name the co-stars she disliked, to share behind-the-scenes stories, and to reflect on the lessons they taught her is a testament to her authenticity, an authenticity that has defined her life and career. Ultimately, Miriam's message is one of resilience, integrity, and humor. She reminds aspiring actors and longtime fans alike that challenges are inevitable, but how one navigates them shapes not only a career but a life. Through it all, Miriam Margolyes has remained unapologetically herself, talented, fearless, honest, and endlessly captivating. Her legacy is not just the characters she brought to life, but the wisdom, candor, and courage with which she approached every role, every set, and every relationship. For those who follow her story, Miriam's reflections are a rare glimpse into the realities of working in the entertainment industry, the glamour, the drama, and the human complexities that make Hollywood as challenging as it is unforgettable. Even at 84, her voice is as bold, insightful, and entertaining as ever, leaving an indelible mark on the world of film and theatre, and on the hearts of those who admire her courage, honesty, and extraordinary talent.